What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are back with some more NBA player props as well as some of these game lines. Before we do anything, guys, I want to go ahead and give you guys an update on how the month has been going for me, both on player props and on money lines. So I'm going to show you guys my player prop tracker. This is going to be on Pickett. Pickett doesn't have my parlay play account connected, so this is pretty much Ace's Pickett from every single app except Parlay Play. Now, Parlay Play for the month, I am down around $1,500. So you got to subtract about $1,500 from this, and we're up right at $1,600 profit on the month for player props. And you can see there was one really bad week here, and then the first day of January that was really bad for player props as well. So this is actually better than I expected, to be honest with you. I kind of expected player props to be right at break even or even down slightly for the month, because January's been pretty tough on player props, and it always is if you're playing on the NBA. So just seeing this made me feel a little bit better. I don't have my money lines connected to this. I track my money lines by hand because I can't connect all the apps that I use to pick it. So that's why I do a bet tracker. So for the bet tracker for the money lines, we are up $8,822. Profited $347. Look at the streak we're on, guys. This is a 7-day streak, 7 green days in a row. Even though one of them was $10, a couple of them were barely profitable, 100, 150. But I'm still 7 green days in a row. Can't complain at all. It's been a very good month for the money lines, up almost $9,000. Bet tracker for the last 2 months, right here is my number for the last 2 months since the beginning of December, $13,833 on my money lines. On December, I profited a couple grand on player props, I believe. It might have been 4 grand on player props. I have to go back and check. But up over right around 20 grand in the last 2 months, which is very good. Now, every single one of these bets are tracked from the Discord. These are all posted in the Discord. This is what we played as of yesterday. So yesterday I had quite a bit of plays. I actually tailed the college basketball plays last night as well. We went 2-1 on college basketball and then 3-2 on NBA. So NBA, I played the Pistons. They lost. I played the Rockets. They won. I played the Timberwolves, who won, which is a nice win. The Wizards won. And I took the Mavericks over the Hornets. I regret that decision, man. It was a close game. It could have went either way. Cooper Flagg and Con Knuppel both had baller games. It was cool to see, but the Mavericks ended up losing by a bucket. So that one ended up chalking me there. It would have been a phenomenal day. We had Washington plus 13, Penn State under 149 total, and then the Citadel minus 2.5, and 2 of the 3 cash. The only one missing was going to be the Penn State game total. That one did not go under, so we ended up missing that one. But other than that, guys, great month so far. I'm hoping we can continue this for the rest of the month. The goal is 10K profit in January. Now, I do want to say, I have not forgotten about the bankroll management video. What I've been trying to do is I wanted to have a full month. I wanted to have a full 2 months of tracked picks to show in the video. So that is coming up very soon. It should be done. It should be posted the beginning of February. I will have a bet tracker for you guys to each use. So I am working on that as well. The problem right now with this bet tracker that if I give to you guys for free is every month you have to change it. So I have to click this thing right here and go over to February and then do February 1st. And it resets the entire month, goes up to the 28th. And you're like, okay, that's really easy to do, Ryan. Why would you not want to give that? Because it doesn't add up the sales correctly. So if you've ever used Excel spreadsheet, the total profit here, it sums up every single one of these, okay, including up to the 31st. If you don't have data inputted in, like these are blocked off, then what it's going to do is it's actually going to add the numbers up incorrectly. So if I come down here, I go to the January 31st right here. You see these days at the beginning of the month. December's month was had these sales inputted. I know this is very confusing, especially if I have no clue about Excel. It gets very or Google spreadsheets, whatever. It gets very confusing. But I have to go in and manually edit or add in the cells that are and are not used in here. So if I had to give you guys that, I can already see how many questions I'm going to be getting, and people are going to be confused. And I'm just trying to come up with a way to have the entire calendar update itself and not have to worry about it. So that is in the works. I'm trying very hard. If there's anybody who is good at that can help me, then you can send me a message on Discord, and I will definitely compensate you on that. If you want to make some money and you're somebody that can do this, and yes, you have to have experience. I'm not just going to pay somebody $150 to make me a spreadsheet, and they're going to wing it, and it ends up being worse than the one I have now. So if you've never done it, don't message me, please, for that. But if you have done it and you have a lot of experience, I am willing to give some paper for that. But anyways, that being said, it's been a great month. If you guys do want to get all of our plays, the link to the WAP is down in the description. It's $10 a week or $25 a month. You get every single play that I personally post. It's 20% off if you use code NBA right now. We'd love to have you in the community. The Discord itself is free to join. You can join through the WAP link, or you can just click the Discord link down in the description. You can join our community. We'd love to have you in there. We have the best community out there, in my opinion. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm not. We have a great community. I really do think that. And some of our wins from yesterday, this was a free pick. We took Bam and Porter Jr. That one ended up cashing easily. The other one ended up missing. Who was it that chalked us yesterday? It was Sabonis. Sabonis ended up chalking his PRA. It was very close. We almost cashed both slips. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. We had a Vucevic with Bam and Knuppel over here on parlay play as well that cashed. We had Cunningham and Murray over on Sleeper that cashed. Here's my Wizards money line, my Rockets money line, and my Timberwolves money line. Here's the Citadel minus 2.5, Washington plus 13. Here's Keyshawn George with the Cade Cunningham free square on Prizepicks. They allow me to put 150 on it. I profited $180 profit, and then that is it. So that's what we had yesterday. So overall, it was a great day. Hopefully, we continue going into today. That being said, if you guys do want to get a free month of our VIP, you know what to do. Leave a like and a comment on this video, and I will personally pick a random comment, or personally, I'm not personally selecting it. I'm using a random comment generator, but you will have a chance to win free VIP. So if this video gets 250 likes, we'll do that again. So drop a like, leave a comment. You got to be a subscriber to win, and let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday's video. So the winner is going to be for Ann Leonard, who said thanks for the video. Well, Ann, I know you have been watching for years. You comment on every single video. I see it every single day. I really do appreciate it. It's been a while since you've won. I know you've won in the past, but send me a message on Discord. I'll get you added for that free month of VIP, Ann. And once again, appreciate all the love you've given us over the years, and every single one of you guys who, I read most of the comments. Sometimes I miss the comments. I don't read them for like the next day, like to this morning. I might read yesterday's comments, but every comment gets read, guys. And I do appreciate the ones that you got, the guys that are supporting me and are in the comments being understanding with the picks are bad and are supporting us even on the bad days, because it means a lot. So anyways, I do want to go ahead and jump into these picks for today. Let's talk about the money lines, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys for money lines today, I'm going to take it a little bit light, because or at least take it easy as in terms of I'm not going to rush and make these picks, because the last 2 days that I've made my money line picks, there have been players who have been ruled out late in the day or late injury news, things like that. So I'm not going to be locking in my money lines early like I did yesterday, because it has been swaying me, and or it would have swayed me, but I've already locked them in, so I can't change my pick. So let's go ahead and talk about the game on this first game on the slate, which is the Lakers versus the Wizards. So we have Wizards plus 335 underdogs at home, 9.5 spread, 229.5 total. Looking at these two teams, the Wizards just played yesterday. I played Wizards money line. They ended up beating the Bucks. They have won 2 games in a row. They are playing against the Lakers. The Lakers have won 4 of their last 6 games. They just got blown out by Cleveland in a game that they were actually leading the first half. So I think they were trailing at halftime by a couple points, but they were up by like 10 at one point in the first half. So they were playing good, kept it competitive most of the game, and then they just like gave up. They just rolled over, and Cleveland beat them by 30 points. It is what it is. It sucks. Sometimes it's rough being a Lakers fan, but right now Doncic is questionable. Austin Reeves is actually questionable. So looking at AR, if Doncic sits and AR plays, I'm cool with that. I still think the Lakers win this game. If Doncic plays and AR sits, I still think the Lakers win this game. The Washington is or the Wizards, are potentially missing Bagley, potentially missing Trey Johnson. Chris Middleton's questionable. Vucevic is questionable. Cam Whitmore obviously out for the rest of the season. And they got Trey Young, who is still out. Now, any of this can change throughout the day. There can be players added. These can all play. These could all sit. You never know. I highly doubt every one of these players sit, but we'll see what happens. On a back-to-back, you never know. Looking at these injuries for the Lakers, the one I don't know, man. If Doncic has left ankle soreness, if he's sore, they're probably not going to play him, especially versus the Wizards, especially if AR does play. AR is probably going to be limited. To be honest with you, they both sit. They can probably still keep it competitive with the Wizards. This game's got a decently high total. It's the Wizards. They don't play very much defense. It's going to be pretty fast-paced if it stays competitive. So, anyways, I like the Lakers today. It's minus 300. It's not a bet that I would personally place in terms of where the odds are. But Wizards on a back-to-back, they're hard to trust when they're fresh. So I'm definitely not going to be playing money on them today on a back-to-back versus the Lakers. Next game on the slate is going to be the Raptors versus the Magic. This is actually a very competitive game that can honestly go either way. Right now, Orlando minus 117 at home. The spread on this game is a 1.5 and a 220.5 total. Public betting around 50-50 split on the money line, but 86% of the money on the Raptors plus 1.5, which is absolutely crazy to me. I never would have thought that. So, and it's 51% of the bet, so very large wager on Toronto plus 1.5. Looking at these two teams, Toronto has won four of their last. I almost said one of their last five. Four of their last 5 games they have won. The Magic are complete opposite. They have won 1 of their last 5. So, Magic struggling. Raptors looking good. Raptors do have pretty much a fully healthy team. They do have RJ Barrett back. Quickly is no longer questionable as of right now. Who knows what's going to happen later in the day. Jakob Poeltl's still sitting, and Chucky Hepburn is still sitting. Looking at Orlando, they are missing Colin Castleton. They are missing Franz Wagner once again. Other than that, this Orlando team is healthy as well. Now, this Magic team is very difficult to beat. They just beat Miami, another strong home team. But Orlando at home is hard to beat. They have a 62% win rate. The Raptors have a 64% win rate on the road, and they've won 4 straight games. Now, when you look at these two teams, I like this Raptors team, man. I really do. Now, do I think they're going to win this game? This game, like I said, is coin flip. As of right now, I really want to run the Magic money line, even though the Raptors have been playing a lot better basketball. And this Raptors team, I mean, I think this game's going to stay competitive regardless. I think it legitimately goes either way. But right now, the coin flip side I'm leaning toward is going to be the Magic just because they're playing at home and they've been so good at home. When you look at head-to-head, neither of these teams have played except for once this season, and this one was in Toronto. The Magic got beat by 1 point. It was a very, very close game. The Magic have been dealing with injuries all season long. Wagner has not played that many games. They've been dealing with Suggs injuries. Banchero's been out. They've been missing a lot of players, so they're not. This is nothing new for them in terms of players missing. But put them at home versus Toronto. They have no games this season. Both games last season they lost by 1 point and then lost by 2 points. So Toronto's had their number. Let's be honest. I don't think they've won. The Magic have won 1 game of their last 5 versus the Raptors. So this is not a team that they've been able to beat very well. But playing at home tonight, I'm willing to take a chance on them. We'll see what happens. I'm going to wait till the closer to the slate. My mind may change on this game. If you see tomorrow's video and I ended up running Raptors money line, I changed my mind. The Raptors are plus 118. Very, very decent odds for the Raptors. So that being said, we'll see what happens with this game. I'm not 100% sure where I lean on it yet. As of right now, I'm kind of leaning Orlando at home. Next game on the slate is going to be the Celtics versus the Kings. The Kings are on a back-to-back. They are plus 426 underdogs on the road versus the Celtics. Most of the money right now is actually on the Kings, which is you see that and you're like, holy why would they be that much money on the Kings? But we'll talk about that in a second. Boston, there's 11.5 point spread, which is crazy. I'm definitely if I took a play here, it would be Kings plus 11.5, 220.5 total. Even though the Kings are on a back-to-back, they're missing Malik Monk, missing Russell Westbrook, where they're both questionable anyway. Keegan Murray is for sure sitting. Boston, doubtful Jaylen Brown. So this is where things change for the Celtics. So Peyton Pritchard or Derek White, potentially Hauser, are going to be stepping this up. I can see Hauser having a good game. I can see Pritchard having a good game, or I can see D. White having a good game. The two I'm mainly looking at is probably going to be Pritchard and Hauser because last time I played Derek White when Jaylen Brown sat, he didn't do worth a dang, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was the game before that. Maybe it was the 2 games ago. But either way, Derek White burned me last time. Looking at the Kings, they have lost 7 games in a row. They just got beat on the road in Philly by 2 points. They had the Sixers number yesterday. They were playing very, very good basketball. They were plus 600, I think. It might have been plus 400 yesterday, but they very, very strong underdogs yesterday and almost pulled off the upset. The Celtics have been playing good basketball as well. They've won, 5 of their last 8 games. They've been decent. Without Jaylen Brown, this team's going to struggle. I could see the Kings getting upset on the road again. They are on a back-to-back. They're going to be on tired legs. I don't love the Kings here money line-wise. Kings plus 11.5. I actually really like that play, and I'm probably going to end up playing it myself. But we will see. I will be waiting for injury news for sure because Jaylen Brown could get ruled in, and then I'm just probably killing myself. Oh, whoa. That is not what I meant to say. Pause. YouTube did not flag me. That did not come out right. That was not what I was trying to say. I can't even say injure myself. I'm doing damage to myself by taking them early. We'll say that. Let's use our words wisely before I get removed. So, anyways, next game, Grizzlies versus Pelicans. Now, this is the game that I like to see, guys. It's got 233.5 total. Pelicans are minus 122 at home and a 2.5 spread. Majority of the money is going to be on the Pelicans. Pelicans, 75% of the money on their spread and 55% on them covering the money line. Looking at this 2025 season, the Pelicans have won 24% of their games. The Grizzlies have won 40% of their games. Grizzlies have lost 4 games in a row. The Pelicans have lost their last game versus OKC that they kept very competitive, but they did end up winning the 2 games prior to that. Now, looking at Memphis, they're missing Aldama. They're missing Brandon Clark. Zach Edey is out. Ty Jerome is doubtful. Ja Morant is out. And Scottie Pippen are out. They're still missing a ton of players, whereas the Pelicans are only missing DeJounte Murray. I think the Pelicans win this game. I will not lock them in early. I will be waiting for injury news, just to 100% confirm nothing changes. But as of right now, if things stay the same, I will be locking in the Pelicans money line. I like this at minus 122. I think they're a better team than they give credit to. I think they have a lot of talent, and if this team can stay healthy, and if this team can find themselves, I really do think that they could be a good team. So give me the Pelicans money line as long as nothing changes. Next game is going to be the Knicks versus the Trailblazers. Right now, I'm not going to jump in super detail on these games anymore because I feel like I'm ranting a lot. We're like 16 minutes into this video. But anyways, Trailblazers are on a 3-game loss streak. Knicks are on a 4-game win streak. This one's in New York. Avdia is questionable. They're missing a ton of players on the Portland side of things, whereas the Knicks are potentially missing Josh Hart, potentially missing Miles McBride. Both these players are questionable. You have to wait till closer to the game to figure out who's going to play. Avdia is a massive key to this Portland team, and if he sits, then it's Knicks all day. If Avdia plays, then honestly, Portland could potentially upset the Knicks. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I have New York winning this game. The public betting, you can see most of the money is going to be on the Knicks for good reason. I'll probably end up fading this one myself, but I do think New York wins this game, especially if Avdia sits. We still got a few more games on the slate. The next one's going to be the Clippers versus the Nuggets. Nuggets are plus 194 underdogs at home, 6.5 spread. Most of the money going to be on the Clippers. I like the Clippers here if Kawhi plays. Kawhi Leonard is questionable once again. Ty Washington is questionable as well. Derek Jones is out. Bogdanovich is out. And Bradley Beal, we obviously know, is out. On the Denver side of things, they have Tamar Bates out. Christian Brown out. Aaron Gordon out, Cam Johnson, and Jokic still out. No players questionable or probable this game as of right now. This 100% could change. Looking at the Clippers, they have won 9 of their last 10 games. This team has looked incredibly good lately, especially when Kawhi Leonard plays. If Kawhi plays, I'm going to be on the Clippers a lot. I mean, if Kawhi sits, I honestly think that they still win, but it gets a little bit more sweaty because this team can randomly just roll over, and we've seen that towards the beginning of the season. You can see how bad they were at the beginning of the season. They have completely done a 180 on the way they play. They went from losing every single game to winning every single game. Like, this Clippers team is looking incredibly strong right now. So right now it's Clippers money line. We'll see what happens towards the injury news for this one as well. Next game is going to be the Cavs versus the Suns. The Suns burned me last night. I had the Pistons. The Pistons were one of my favorite plays with Devin Booker missing. And you know what, man? Once again, I don't trust the Suns to cover a game, and they ended up beating me. So I've been a big fan of the Suns. Am I a fan of them tonight on a back-to-back versus the Cavs? I don't know just yet. So the Cavs have won 5 straight games. They are missing Evan Mobley again. Garland is sitting once again. Max Strus is once again out. Luke Travers questionable. Phoenix is missing Devin Booker, but they have a questionable Jalen Green. And other than that, they're fully healthy. Them being on a back-to-back is what worries me. This Cavs team is still good even without Garland and Mobley. We saw them just beat the Lakers by 30, but it stays very competitive. I don't know where I stand on this game. As of right now, I want to run the Cavs, but, just because they're on a back-to-back. If the Cavs were not on a back-to-back, I'd honestly be running Phoenix right now with Mobley and Garland sitting. I want to confirm that these two players are sitting and they don't end up being questionable or probable or anything like that. So I'm going to be waiting once again until the games get closer to, or until it gets closer to game time before I take a pick on this. As of right now, I'm running the Cavs, but Phoenix at plus 170. You can't really go wrong with them with the way they've been playing. Well, last 2 games we have is the Nets and the Jazz, and then the Pistons and the Warriors. The Nets versus the Jazz right now, Utah minus 123, 2.5 spread, 227.5 total. This game's going to be good for player props in my personal opinion because I think it stays competitive. The Nets barely got beat by the Nuggets last night. That would have been a big upset as well. Whereas the Jazz just got beat by Golden State 2 days ago, 140 to 126. Now, Brooklyn missing Clowney, missing Igor. Highsmith is out. Cam Thomas is okay. Hold up. Clowney's questionable. Igor probable. Highsmith is out. Cam Thomas probable. Zaire Williams questionable. They're on a back-to-back. Some of these players probably sat because of the back-to-back. Utah Jazz. Harkless is out. Kessler obviously out. Kevin Love is questionable. Markkanen is sitting. Niang is sitting. Nurkic is questionable. Then Cody Williams is questionable. So lots of players from both teams are either questionable or out. That really determines me for this game. I don't like taking Utah without Markkanen. Honestly, I'm kind of leaning. Excuse me. I'm kind of leaning the Nets, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. It just depends. Well, we'll see what happens. If Nurkic plays and Kevin Love play and Cody Williams play, then maybe I take the Jazz. But if not, I may end up just fading this game completely. I'm not real sure. Nets on a back-to-back slightly scare me, but it's Porter. He's probably going to have another good game again today, and this team has had some upsets this season, so we'll see what happens. Last game on the slate is going to be the Pistons versus the Warriors. You guys know I had the Pistons last night. They lost. They're plus money again, plus 117 versus Golden State. Golden State minus 1.5 favorites. They are playing at home, obviously. They just beat the Jazz 140 to 124. The Pistons just lost to the Suns by 18 points. Right now, Detroit's missing LeVert, or potentially missing Chris LeVert, and then Tolu Smith is questionable. Golden State missing Butler for the rest of the season. Cryer out, Seth Curry out, Kuminga out, and Santos is probable. Right now, to me, it's going to be the Pistons, man. I don't trust this Golden State team without Butler. They're missing a lot of players. I'm not saying Butler's the heart of this team by any means, but he's a big piece to it. Kuminga's another good player they're missing. I just think the Pistons are the better team. I think them losing last night, I don't think that happens consistently versus this Suns team. I really don't. Even in Phoenix, I don't think that the Suns consistently can beat the Pistons if they're missing Devin Booker. So I do think this game, I'm not going to say a fluke. I think the Suns just played better basketball for sure. Look how many points the Pistons scored. They scored 96 points. Like, how many games this season have they scored less than 100? I guess there's not very many. There's not very many games. So they obviously didn't shoot well. Maybe it's the Suns' defense, but I don't think that's 100% of the reason they didn't score that many points. So we'll see what happens. I like the Pistons today at plus money. Getting the Pistons at plus 117, I think is a great play, and I will definitely be running them unless Cunningham or something gets ruled out. But that's what I got for the games. Let's go ahead and jump into some player props for today. So first player prop on the season, or on the slate, that I'm going to take is going to be our man Brandon Ingram. And we're on to the NFL. Let's go ahead and change this over. So we got Brandon Ingram. I'm taking our man Ingram for 27.5 PRA. His line has come down mainly because their team's fully healthy. But first of all, his original line is 29.5 or 30.5, depending on the platform you're looking at. I like Ingram at this. Ingram's covered at 70% of games. Head-to-head, he's covered at one of his last two versus Orlando. This is a slow-paced game versus the Magic. It's going to be very defensive, which is why I'm buying this down. 27.5. 72% hit rate. Head-to-head, he had it his last game versus the Magic, his only game this season. Last 10 games, averaging 29. 27 is not a super high line for our man Brandon Ingram. Now, right now, on Parlay Play, first of all, if you want to sign up for Parlay Play, you can use the code FANTASYACES. They give you $5 for free, a deposit match, and you get our month of our VIP for free, and you can do that with any partnered app in the description. There's 7 apps. You can get up to 7 months for free. But let's go ahead and pull our man Brandon Ingram up. As of a minute ago, I could not actually alt his line at all. And they changed this. So you can get 27.5 on Prizepicks right now, which is what I'm playing. So let's go ahead and pull Ingram up real quick. I'm going to take Ingram for 27.5. That's the line that I like. 24.5, obviously an even better line, but the payout's not going to be that good when we'll check it. But I like Ingram here. I think Ingram has a good game. It's versus the Magic, and this game should stay very competitive, and it can go either way. So give me Brandon Ingram for 27. I think he has a good game. Who am I going to pair him with? I am pairing him with our man Lindell. I'm taking Jock Lindell. I'm taking him over 6.5 rebounds. Now, before you just straight up run his rebounds, his 11.5 points I like as well. So you got to understand, they're missing Aldama. Look at how many power forwards and centers they're missing. They're missing Zach Edey, they're missing Brandon Clark, and they're missing Aldama. This is going to lead to a lot of usage for our man Lindell. I think he has a great game. We're going to go just without Aldama. And you can see he has 3 games this season. He has 13 points, 24 points, and 10 points. They are also missing Ja Morant. There are not very many games without both these players. There is 2 games this season without both of these players. He had 13.5 field goals the first game, where he actually had 18, and he had 9 the second game. He averages 13.5 is what I meant to say. So I do like his 11.5 points. Now, his rebound line has been very good at 6.5, and this gives us right at a double up. So I'll take this play myself. Look at his, as of lately, how well he's been boarding. He's cashed just 8 of his last 10 games and 14 of his last 20 games. And you take away Aldama and Ja Morant, these 2 games this season, he had 11, and then he had 3 the last game versus Charlotte. But that was a bad game versus Charlotte. I'm going to give him some slack on that one. Let's actually take out the Ja Morant play. He had 11, 2 of the 3 games without our man Aldama. So going against the team, the Pelicans have one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. If you go to the center position, they give up 15 rebounds per game, and is literally second to last in terms of how many rebounds they give up per game. So Jock Landale for 6.5 boards, I like a lot, and I'm definitely willing to put some money on it myself. So let's go ahead and do this. 6.5. If you play it on Prizepicks is going to be a 1.8x, $250 will win you $450. If I were to play this over on Parlay Play, let's go ahead and pull him up. Get him at 6.5 rebounds. Can you even do boards, or am I blind? There it is. 1.2x. It gives you a 1.5x. You could play these two together and then like run a third play or something. I may end up doing that just for the video. What could I do for a third play? Let's see here. Keyshawn George for 10 points or something. That ain't going to be enough. No, I don't know why I even tried that. Maybe I don't do this for the video. Pritchard for 15, maybe. That's not going to be enough either, is it? No, it's very, very close. Either way, you can just play the 27.5 for our man Brandon Ingram over on Prizepicks, and this is enough right here. Or if you want to sprinkle it in some random play, another 1.2x or so with Brandon Ingram at 24.5, you can do that as well. Let's go ahead. I really kind of want to find a play to lock in live. Let's see here. Doncic is obviously going to be questionable. LeBron could be a decent play. I don't know, because if both of them play, then LeBron's probably not going to be the guy to go to. Right now, I'm just kind of scrolling and looking. Is there anything that I see that I like? Don't want to play Zion. I like Trey Murphy, but we're using him in the other slip. So I'm going to hold off on this. Maybe I'll come back to it. Maybe I'll lock in something a little bit later with this. But that is going to be the slip number 1 of the day. I am going to be running our man Brandon Ingram with Jock Landale. So next play on the slate. Why is everything highlighted? Please stop highlighting. Okay, so the next play that I'm going to be running is going to be for our man Peyton Pritchard. I'm playing the boost on Parlay Play. I'm playing the boost on Parlay Play. It's a 1.46x for 18 points. You got to understand Jaylen Brown is doubtful, most likely not going to play. If he doesn't play, you got to look at Peyton Pritchard on the season so far without Jaylen Brown. He's cashed 100% of games. He's averaging 25 points per game, and he's cashed versus Toronto, the Pacers, and the Wizards. When you look at who they're playing tonight, they're playing against the Kings. The Kings have one of the worst points defenses in the league. Go to the point guard position, give up 22nd in the league. So give up a lot of points in general. A very decently fast-paced team. Peyton Pritchard plays massive minutes whenever Jaylen Brown is sitting. This game, like I said, I think it stays competitive. I could see the Kings winning if Jaylen Brown sits. It would not surprise me if it happened at all. But give me Peyton Pritchard for 18. I think this boost is actually a very good one, especially for this payout, and I like it a lot. Who am I pairing it with? I told you guys I'm taking Trey Murphy. I'm going to take Trey Murphy for 20 points. This could be sweaty, don't get me wrong, but Trey Murphy has been putting up a ton of shot volume. He's cashed it 7 of his last 10 games, 62% of games on the season. Head-to-head, he has cashed this line 5 of 7 games versus Memphis. You look at him this season, he's cashed it 1 of 3 versus Memphis, but he just had 32 points his last game versus Memphis. Looking at his last 10 games, he's averaging 19 field goal attempts per game. Dude is putting up 20 shot attempts per game. He's been scoring a lot. He's averaging 16 on the season, and he averages 17.3 versus 17.3 field goal attempts is what I'm looking at, if you guys were curious. 17.3 field goal attempts versus the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies give up middle of the pack in points. If you go to the point guard position, you can see they give up around 12th, and to the forward position, they give up a ton of stats to the forward position. So if you want to look at Zion or something, you can. I wouldn't blame you, but I do like Trey Murphy. I think he's going to put up the shot volumes. As long as his shots falling, we are good. Look at his three-point attempts. Last 10 games, he's averaging 10.4 threes per game. He's putting up big volume. We had him the other day. He's chalked us, but he shot 1 for 11 on three-pointers, which is obviously garbage. So, anyways, give me Trey Murphy for 20 points. I think this is going to be a good play. I like this slip a lot, and I'm going to be locking him in. So, Trey Murphy for 20 points is a 1.98x. $250 wins you $495. If you play this one, it's a 1.76. $250 wins you $440. Is it worth the extra bucket? Do I just play the 18? I might do that. This was a 1.32x, and this was a 1.15x earlier, which made this less than a 1.75, so I couldn't play the 18 points. I might just play this safe. I might just take 17 for both of them. I'm going to. I like 19.5, by the way. If you want to play 19.5 for a better payout, you can. I'm just going to play it safe. I like that a lot better, to be honest with you. 20 can be sweaty. I think he cashes 18 pretty simply. I mean, I know that's only one more bucket, but legit, man, I've been hooked so many times over the last 8 years. Like, you just don't understand. You get hooked a lot, and it sucks. Like, Trey Murphy could end up with 19, and it'll just piss you off. So Trey Murphy, 17.5 points for $50 less. I'll take it. Like I said, if you want to play 20 points, go ahead and play it. It's not a bad bet at all, in my personal opinion. And I guess I'll go ahead and try to lock in an Ingram and Londale play as well. So 24.5 for Ingram, 6.5 boards for Lindell. We're at a 1 point. Did this come down? Was this not a 1.5x earlier? I already see where this is going. Let's look at this. Let's look at these games. What's a game total? What's another high? And I'm doing this live because I haven't completely researched every player prop. I find 4 of my favorite props, and I give them to you guys for the props that I want to play. But I haven't been researching for the last, like, 6 hours or anything or every single player prop. MPJ, bro. Why am I overlooking Porter Jr.? If I'm looking for one key player on the slate, it's definitely got to be Porter. So, Porter, 1.13x for 29.5 is crazy. It is versus the Jazz, though. What does this give us? 20 points is going to be a 1 point. I can't even play 20 points. Dude, it's so annoying. Their payouts are so bad right now. 2.5 threes gives us a 1.88x. Could potentially do that. Porter's been cashing threes, correct? Let me confirm that. Confirm Porter for 3 points made is not a bad bet. 2.5. He's cashed 74%. He's cashed at 7 of his last 10. He had 7 threes. He's averaging 9.6 3-point attempts. It's not a bad play at all. Head-to-head, he's cashed it about every game versus the Jazz. They have one of the worst 3-point defenses in the league. So, I mean, this definitely isn't a bad play. Porter for 3 threes, I definitely could see cashing. Do I prefer that or prefer the PRA? PRA still doesn't put you at the line. That's what sucks is I can't find a prop that's like a 1.2 points and assists. That might be the one. That might be the one. 24.5 points and assists. Think that might be, looks really bad versus the Jazz. But obviously this is from last season. He wasn't even playing for the Nets. Totally different season. I honestly like this. He doesn't get very many assists, though, because he doesn't pass the ball. He averages 3 assists per game on the season. But still going against a team that gives up a lot of assists. This could be a spot for our man MPJ. Could be a decent play. 24.5 is a good payout. I don't like RA as much. So the 2 plays I'm looking at, points and assists, 3 points made, and potentially like points. You could maybe play. Well, if I get him at like 20.5, I'd play that. But let's run it with points and assists. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put 250 on it. I think he cashes this line for us. What's points and rebounds? What was his line at points and rebounds? 29.5 PR. I know I'm just rambling right now, but this is me like trying to lock in a slip. I like this a lot, to be honest, but Brandon Ingram at 24.5, I just like that line. So it really comes down to, would you rather risk Ingram at 20 like for 3 more PRA, or would you rather risk adding in an extra player like Porter Jr. for a play like 24.5 points and assists? I mean, realistically, he can drop 24 points by himself. His regular line is 26.5 for points, and he's averaging 3 assists per game. He does have some games where he gets 5 and 7 assists. I mean, 5 to 7. So his ceiling's pretty high there. If he gets 6 or 7 assists, he for sure cashes this line for us. Head to head, he had 4, but those are all from last season, so none of those really matter that much. I think they're all from last season. Yeah, they're all from last season, so none of that really matters at all. They are potentially getting all these players back, though, Cam Thomas and Clowney being a big one. So a lot of players to potentially assist too. I'm going to lock this. I'm going to lock this. That's what I'm going to do. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and make the executive decision to lock that in, which means I'm probably not going to play this exact slip on Prizepicks because there's no point in doubling up on this one, so you're just not going to see that one. I just ran this instead. I added Porter for points and assists. I don't love the assist line. Honestly, we could probably wait on this one, and let's cancel. Let's do this. Here's what I'm going to do. Don't hate me. I know I've been rambling for like the last 10 minutes. Can I not refund it? Okay, it refunded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the Porter Jr. play. I'm going to wait until some of these other lines drop, because the way parlay play does it is like there's gaps right now from 19.5 to 24.5. They will eventually give us the 20, 21.5, 22.5 lines. Same thing for all these other ones. They'll give us these lines that are in the middle, like 30.5, 31.5, and then you'll be able to get that 1.2x to make the line meet. So I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to rush it. It's 9 a.m. Like, there's no point in rushing the slip. So that's what I'm going to do. It's Jock Landale for 6.5 points, or 6.5 rebounds, I mean. Ingram for up to 28 PRA, I like. So you run those in any fashion that you want. I'll have them posted in the Discord if you want to join. You know where to go. So anyway, sorry for rambling for the last 10 minutes. Hopefully you guys kind of skip through it a little bit. But anyways, hope you guys have an awesome day. Hope you guys cash every single slip, and I'll see y'all in the next one.